Now, today's not going to be all about animal stories and pictures on the screen, okay? We're going to get some great content here today. And it's all about how do you become the employer of choice? How do you create a thriving company culture so that you attract, you hire, and you retain top-tier talent? Who wants some of that in the room by show of hands? Okay. Turn to your neighbor and give him a high five and say, I want some of that. All right. You guys are doing great. You guys are doing great. All right, who here has employees? Show of hands. Who has employees? If you can't tell, we're going to do a lot of interaction today. Awesome. You guys are doing great so far. Who doesn't have employees is probably a better question. Let me get up here so I can see. Anyone? One person. Okay. So we all have some sort of team member in the room. I think your daughter just raised her hand too. Okay, so we all do, right? We all have employees. Anyone have any really great employees? Like perfect employees like this? Is anyone the perfect employee in the room? Anyone? Yeah, a couple people in the room. All right, a couple raised hands. Yeah, maybe they look like this dude. They're just like, woo, right? They're rock stars in your office. Anybody have one of those? You got some rock stars. All right. Now, on the flip side of the coin, do we have any employees that are maybe, shall we say, a little less than desirable? Couple? Okay, anyone look like this? Huh? Anyone? Or what about my personal favorite? How about this lady? Check her out. Does anyone have anyone up at your front desk where people are coming in to say hello and check their animal in and they're out there playing solitaire? Anyone? I love this picture. That's so funny. Or anyone have somebody that you really need to get rid of? Obviously you're not going to do that. All right, we got to talk later. She just raised her hand on almost every one of my questions here. All right, I know many of you are doing really, really well. And I also know that I've spoken to several of you, and of course I've been doing research on this organization for the last several months. I know that a lot of you are having some challenges with employees, whether it's finding the right employees and hiring the right employees, whether it's being in that entrepreneur, that business owner role, but then getting pulled back into the weeds, getting pulled back into the day-to-day minutia of business. Is anyone experiencing that? Okay, a lot of people are experiencing that. I know a lot of you are experiencing challenges in leading teams and in managing teams, right? And knowing how to create the right culture that's actually going to attract the best of the best. Okay? And that's what today is all about. And the good news is that you're not alone. Check this out. 82% of small and medium-sized companies in the UK are struggling to attract the skills that they need. 82%. Is that a lot? That's a lot. Is this important to have good team members on your team? Is it yes or yes? Yes, it is. It absolutely is. Does this sound really funny to you? Does it sound good? I sound really lispy, and I'm not lispy generally. It's like, shh, I'm hearing a lot of it. Okay, I'm going to lower it a little bit. Okay, so we need to become an attraction magnet, right? We need to attract the best of the best. Do you guys agree with that? You do agree with that? Okay, good. We need to really attract world-class talent, and that's what today's going to be about. Today's going to be about taking world-class principles from some of the top companies out there. Are these recognizable brands or are these recognizable brands? These are like some of the most recognizable brands in the world. Am I correct? Yeah. Right? Absolutely. Sony, Facebook, Virgin, Apple, Google, 3M. Would you agree that these companies have a great culture without even knowing anything about the company? Company like Apple or Google, would you agree that they probably have a pretty cool culture that attracts a lot of applicants? Yes or yes? Absolutely it does. And would you agree that we have the ability, although, are we ever going to be an Apple? No. Are we trying to be Facebook? No, we're absolutely not. But can we learn from the principles set forth by some of the top companies in the world? Can we learn from these world-class principles? Can we? Yes or yes? And then can we take these principles and apply them in a smaller enterprise? Is that possible? Come on, folks. Is that possible? Yes. It is absolutely possible. Well, that's what today is going to be about. My background, just so you know a little bit more about my background, Libby was doing some great ad-libbing, no pun intended, right, on there. there's a little more detail I want to share about my background. I've been an entrepreneur for 15 years, but I've also been in corporate, right? So I've owned my own business like many of you. I've also gone the corporate track. And I have an organizational psychology master's degree. One of my first roles out of university, I was a headhunter. I had the glorious opportunity to call out of a phone book, literally cold calling people. Does that sound like fun to anyone in this room? Yeah. As a Blaze, I'm like high Blaze if you can't tell. It was actually a great way to cut my teeth in sales and having the ability to establish rapport within 3 seconds over the phone, really, really good for that. But I've done a lot of hiring. I've also had large sales teams. I've led 100-plus person sales teams and hired a lot of people. And one of the most recent opportunities that I've really drawn a lot of the experience from, and I'm going to bring into this presentation, is from one of my most recent roles at a private organization, private company in the US, and I was their director of talent acquisitions. Their director of recruiting, ultimately. That's a fancy way of saying recruiting, right? And I literally hired like 200 people, a lot of millennials as well. I know there's a lot of millennials in this workspace where we're trying to bring them in and find a way to make them super productive, right, in our practices. Anyone dealing with that at all? I see some heads nodding. Yeah? Okay. We're going to talk a little bit about that today as well. And I've hired hundreds and hundreds of people, and I've implemented an entire recruiting model, entire recruiting strategy from some of the top companies in the world using the same exact strategies, and I'm going to share some of them with you today so that we can implement them in your practice, so that you can implement them in your practice, okay? And I've created a thriving culture where people are literally tripping over themselves to apply for an opportunity to work with this enterprise. Did you notice the language I used there? For an opportunity to work with you. Who wants to have people fighting over an opportunity to work with you? Yeah? I didn't even have to ask you to raise your hands. A lot of people were like, yes, please. Yeah, well, that's what we're going to focus on today. Does that sound like a good agenda today? Yeah. All right, turn to your neighbor and say, that sounds good. You got to say it like that, too. Now, one thing you'll know about me after today, and of course on Saturday I'll be delivering the keynote message to end off the event, I am all about reigniting the human spirit, right? I've had the good fortune of being able to travel all around the world and speak to thousands and thousands of people. And one of the biggest things that I've gotten is so many people are looking for the tips and the tricks. They're like, how do I do it? I want the how-to. Anyone want the how-to right away? Come on, where are my steel and my tempo folks out there? You probably want the how-to like right now. Give me the bottom line how-to. Okay, what I've learned is this. We need the how-to. Yes, we need the how-to, do we? Okay. We also need the mindset, though. Because even if we have all the right how-to, even if we have all the right information, the right strategies, if we don't have the right mindset, well, Marie, we're not going to take action, are we? We're not. We're not going to take action. So is it okay if I give you the strategies today, yes? Yes. And is it okay if I also give you the mindset to go along with the strategies? Yes. That was a much more meek yes. Is it okay, yes or yes? Yes. Yes. All right, awesome. Cool. Well, that's what we're going to do today. Because check this out. No problem can be solved with the same level of consciousness that created it. Pretty smart dude that said that, right? Albert Einstein. No problem can be solved with the same level of consciousness that created it. So we've got to get underneath what is going on in our minds. We're going to start off with hopefully a funny video here. We're going to go ahead and play that now.
Here's the bill. I'm afraid we couldn't reattach it to your duck.
I'm afraid your squirrel is dead. I'm surprised it lasted this long. He's got a nut allergy.
I'm sorry to say your horse had butt cancer. Oh, it's a camel, thank God for that. Sure, I'm a vet. Afghanistan, Iraq, 2 tours of Bosnia. Let me see your cat. Your cat is dead. We move on.
You know what? I could
put everything down hangovers.
All right. All right. Everybody just stand up for me. Just do me. Just stand. Everybody stand up, please. We got to shift some of the energy in there. The lights are down low. We're all tired. I'm not going to make you hug anyone like some seminar leaders do, although you might have to do that later in the weekend. I don't know. All right. We're not really going to do anything. We're just standing up, and now we're going to sit back down. Okay? I just want to get the blood flowing. And we're going to move into some awesome content here. So based on what I've said so far, do you feel like you can get some great value over the next 6 hours that we're together? Wow, you said yes. We're not going to be here together 6 hours. Only about 90 minutes for this section. We're going to take a break, then we're going to go into more content on the back end for another 45 minutes. All right, awesome. So what is self-leadership? Everyone look at your table and grab the handouts that are there. There's 2 of them. I want you to have one of each. And I want you to grab the one that has the I on the front. And everybody look up here when you have that in front of you. If you don't have one, just look on with your neighbor. You're going to need one of each, so make sure you take one of each. But look at the one with the I on it. And I want you to answer the question, what is self-leadership? Who has the, oh, these are fun. Did you have these last year, Alan? Yeah. Okay. Who wants to let me know about self-leadership? What is self-leadership? Who wants to go first? I want you to read it for me. Come on now, like we're in class. I'm going to give this to somebody pretty soon. Somebody raise your hand. Who's the brave soul? Come on, I know we're in England here. All right. Here we go.
So you want me to read this, do you?
Yes, please, read it nice and loud. And you know what? Why don't you stand up and say who you are and where you're coming from?
I'm just going to clean my glasses first, if that's all right.
That's quite all right. Take your time. We got all day.
See
Just
through them all morning.
take your time and hurry up. Just kidding.
I'm Richard Morris. I was in Platinum 16, and now I'm in Mastermind, so I've had the first morning with them this morning.
Excellent.
Right, self-leadership is a combination of self-awareness and self-management. It's the awareness of who you are now and who you want to become. Self-leadership is the ability to influence your own communication, emotions, and behaviors to achieve the results that you desire.
Okay, excellent. Now stay standing. We're going to do something right now. Everybody look up here, because who likes to be efficient? Anyone like to be efficient? Say, I do if you do. Okay, so rather than give rounds of applause during my presentation, can we just give it's called a 2-clap. All right, it saves a lot of time, and it's kind of fun. So we're going to give them a 2-clap. Everyone put your hands out like this. And when I say we're giving them a 2-clap, we're going to do 2 claps. Right? I'm going to give them a 2-clap. Perfect. Isn't that a lot more efficient? All right, you can have a seat. Thank you so much. All right, you learn something every day, right? All right, so self-leadership. Check this out. Keep an eye on the eyeball there. And we're gonna talk a little bit more about this in a few minutes. But let's look at a couple more quotes about just leadership in general. Leadership.com out of Singapore says, great leadership begins with what? Self-leadership, absolutely. Daniel Goleman, he's like the godfather of emotional intelligence. I believe we're having a presentation on emotional intelligence at some point this weekend. This guy is like the godfather of it. I studied it in graduate school. He says exceptional leaders distinguish themselves because of superior what? Self-leadership, right? Is there a theme here? There is. And check this out. Self-leadership International, their definition says it's the process by which you influence yourself to achieve your objectives. It impacts all aspects of your life, your health, your career, and your relationships. Folks, does it sound like this is important stuff or what? Is this important? Yeah. Is it kind of important or is it really important? It's really important to all aspects of our life. So let's break this down. Self-leadership. It's the combination of self-awareness and self-management. Did you know that that's half of emotional intelligence right there? That's the first 2 components of emotional intelligence. Anyone ever not heard of emotional intelligence? Okay, good. Everyone has. Perfect. You're in the right room. Self-awareness and self-management. The other 2 pieces are social awareness and relationship management, right? So this is the internal stuff. Check this out. It's the awareness of who you are now with who you want to become, right? So we know where we are now. We talked a little bit about that in the morning sessions, where we were and where we want to go. We talked about some of our goals. Are we hitting our goals? What's stopping us? So is it true that we're in one place, we want to potentially be in another place, and is there a gap there? What is there in between us? It's a gap. absolutely. It's the ability to influence your own communication, emotions, and behaviors to achieve the results you desire. So we're here, right? We want to be here, and there's a gap. This is like your nav system. It's like your navigation ability. And we all have this, and we all have the ability to develop this as well. That's the great news. And today is all about developing this for you to become better leaders by becoming better self-leaders. You lead others by leading yourself first. Are you getting that? Hopefully you're getting that. It sounds like you are. All right, you want a little hack to this system? I'm going to show you we'll break this down a little bit more how this works. All right, check this out. This is the circles on your page 1. All right, it all starts with our beliefs. Write that in there. Grab your pens, write that down. It all starts with our beliefs. We're going to touch on this a lot more on Saturday during my keynote speech. It's called Reigniting Your Human Spirit. We're going to tear the roof off this place on Saturday. You think I'm American today? You wait till Saturday. We're going to have some good times. We're going to talk a lot more about beliefs, and I know a lot of other speakers are talking about this as well. And is that okay if you hear some of the same stuff? Is that a signal that it's kind of important? And we all know that repetition is the mother of all what? Learning and skill. Absolutely, 1,000% it is. So is it okay? If you hear, yeah, okay, it's great when it integrates like that. I love it when conferences go like that. So we've got our beliefs. And folks, these beliefs color every single thing that we see through our entire life, right? It's like a lens. It's like you have goggles on. We all do, right? We all have some empowering beliefs. We all have some limiting beliefs. And they color our entire experience of life, right? How we see ourselves, how we see other people, how we see opportunities, how we see our practice, right? And check this out. Our beliefs produce language. Our beliefs produce the language, the words coming out of our mouth. So write that down. And then our language produces our thoughts. Right? Our language produces our thoughts. And then, guess what? Our thoughts produce our language. Our language produces our thoughts. We get in a little eddy current over here. Our language produces our thoughts. Our thoughts produce we can get stuck over there. But ultimately, then our thoughts, what we think on a daily basis, on a minute-by-minute basis, they produce how we feel. It actually produces the chemicals in our brain that goes out to our body and gives us the tingly feelings and all the different feelings that we feel. Right? Are you following me so far? Okay, cool. Everyone's still awake? All right, excellent. Thoughts produce your feelings. And then how you feel in any given moment produces your actions. Write that down. Produces your actions. And guess what your actions do, folks? They produce your results. So write that down. Your beliefs create your language. Your language comes out of your mouth a lot of times unconsciously. Sometimes your language is happening in your own head. I'm so stupid. This is so stupid. Right? Things going on in your mind produces your thoughts. Your thoughts produce how you feel in any given moment. And if you feel crappy, if you wake up and you're saying limiting belief things about your life and about what's going on, are you going to go to the gym that day? Probably not, right? Unless you have absolute willpower. That's one way to hack this system, but that's not very sustainable or predictable, is it? To rely on willpower. Is that sustainable or predictable? No. What's that answer in Spanish? No, it's not. On Saturday, I'm going to give you 2 more hacks, okay, that are much more foolproof than willpower. But then our actions produce our results, and then guess what happens? It reinforces our beliefs, right? So we're either going in an upward spiral with positive, empowering beliefs, getting more and more empowering, or they're going down in a downward spiral. More and more limiting beliefs, keeping us where we are or making us even in a worse place. Do you see what I'm giving you right here? Okay, guys, this is gold right here, and this gives you the lens through which you see every single experience. And guess what? How you see the experience, it kicks off the same exact cycle. It's either the success cycle or the no success cycle. Are you following? All right, beautiful. You guys are doing great. So that's a little bit about how we think, right? That's as brainy as we're going to get today. Now we're going to jump into what's working and what's not working. So we're going to put on a little music. We're just going to do this for like 30 seconds to a minute. And guys, there's going to be a lot of exercises over the next 45 minutes or so. Who came here to get some work done? Give me a yes if you did. Yes. Come on, who came here to get some work done? Give me a yes. Yes. All right, awesome. Love it. I know you're up back there saying, oh, he's saying awesome a lot. I'm from San Diego, right? At least I'm not saying like radical or something funny like that, right? So now we're going to do a little bit of work on our own, and we're also going to share with the folks next to us. But right now, I just want you to take like 30 seconds, and at the bottom of that piece of paper, write down in your practice, by yourself, stay in the room, okay, because you came here to get work done, and this is where the work happens. I promise you, as we go through this, there's going to be opportunities for you to have those aha moments, okay? There's going to be opportunities for you to have those breakthroughs and for you to have those realizations of what you need to do right now to transform your business. So take about a minute right now and write down what is working and what is not working in your practice. Does everybody understand what I mean by that? Does anyone not understand what I mean by that? Okay, let's kick some music on, and we'll go for about a minute by yourself, and then I'm going to have you share. Okay, start to wrap it up with yourself. There's going to be plenty more time to write more things down. Now, share on your table. You can bring the music down for a sec. Everybody look up here. Share now with your table, literally just bullet fashion. It's going to be about a minute, and there's about 6 to 8 people. So just take like 10 seconds and say, this is what's working, this is what's not working. Don't give the whole story. Just give the boom, 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 all the way around the table. Go ahead and do that now, and we'll put another minute on, and then just look at me when it's a minute. We might have to go a little longer. Let's wrap it up. All right, everybody give me a 2 clap. Give me a 2 clap. All right, beautiful. You guys are crushing it right now. Love it. Okay, who wants to share first? Libby's got the magic box over here. She's going to flip around to you. Who wants to share first? All the way in the back. Awesome. Thank you so much, Libby. The speaker box. Okay, if you don't mind standing, I know sometimes it's not as comfortable, but you'll grow and expand when you do. Who are you? Where are you coming from?
I'm Alison. I'm from Seadown Veterinary Practice in Hampshire.
And speak right into that bad boy. Like,
okay.
There you go. All right, what is working for you? And I'm going to write some of these down.
Team spirit and a combined drive to improve.
Team spirit and a drive to improve, right?
Yeah.
So I'll say improvement, or I'll say drive for improvement. And was this a commonality? I should have asked that. Try to say some of the ones that are common, but I'd love for you to share any else that's on your list as well.
Yeah, I think on the table, certainly people feel that the people that they have got and the...
Speak right into that magic speaker box.
The feeling is that the team and the people that we have is positive, is really good.
Okay, great. So you have a positive team. Anyone else have some positivity? Okay, cool, awesome. Now, what about some things that are not working, especially the ones that were thematic, that you saw a thread through a lot of people on the table?
Communication.
Okay.
And over busyness. And
okay.
perhaps just not sort of as refined as we'd like.
So communication and over busyness.
Yeah.
Did you just make up a word? I'd like it if you did. What, could you
I can't take credit for it. It wasn't mine.
Nice. So tell me more what you mean by that.
That I think that it's a hectic but not efficient and sort of approach, and perhaps not having enough of the right people.
Got it. So not enough of the right people. Excuse my handwriting. This is more for me to reference. Anyone else have that experience on your table? Over busyness, hectic, not enough of the right people. Anyone? Quite a few people, quite a few hands gone up. What about the communication? Tell me more. Anybody? Okay, a lot of people have that as well. Okay, excellent. Let's give her a 2 clap. You guys are doing way better than most audiences. I just taught you that like 2 minutes ago. That's great. All right, who wants to go next? Let's do one more. Come on, whoever would not normally raise your hand, raise your hand. It'll give you an opportunity to grow and expand. Who wants to be the brave soul? All you're doing is sharing what you heard at the table, folks. Go ahead.
Hi, I'm Simon Ty, City Road Vets in Truro, Cornwall. So what's working is that we've worked very hard to get the right sort of team. We've got the right sort of culture.
Right into that box, because we can't hear you very well.
And we share the same vision. So we worked very hard to get that. Although it's been difficult employing the right people, when we have employed them, we found that they are the right people to employ. If that makes sense.
So when you find the right people, you know they're the right people.
Well, sometimes it takes a little while to know that you've got the right sort of person. Sometimes, they turn into,
How do you know when you have the right person?
well, after about 18 months.
So it's strictly a function of time?
No, but
So what is it then? What is it really? How do you know they're the right people, besides time? Because you could hold on to somebody that's like totally cancerous to your organization. You're just in fear of not finding a replacement.
yeah.
They could be there for 19 months, but that doesn't mean they're good. So what else would it be that you know when your team's like, wow, we really found a star? What are some of the qualities?
The whole team's like harmony.
Here, why don't you give it over to her? She can chime in.
Take it.
Go ahead.
Just team harmony, you can
Team
tell.
harmony. Are you tempo?
No, I'm a square.
Are you? Team harmony.
I'm
That's very
everything.
tempo-y, but that's cool. So team harmony. Excellent. Okay, and then why don't we, either one of you, could share what's not working?
Staff recruitment.
Staff recruitment. Okay, anyone, who else is dealing with that? I talked to a lot of people. There should probably be a lot of hands going up. Okay, staff recruitment. Okay, what else?
Keeping to protocols.
What do you mean by that?
This staff obviously not doing as said.
Okay, so like dissension on the team, they're just not doing what they're supposed to be doing? Mm-hmm. Why do you think that is?
Management.
Okay, could be.
Myself.
Anyone dealing with that? Anyone dealing with employees that just aren't kind of pulling their weight or they're not doing what they're supposed to? Come on, guys, just raise your hand if it's true for you. All right, great. Excellent. Okay, we're going to keep rolling. Is there anyone else that has a burning not working or working that they really want to share? After the challenge of getting that hand up, I'm not surprised we didn't have a hand go up on that last request. Or there'll be more opportunities. Oh, you do have one, Sven, my man, my fellow Blazer. All right.
I promised you.
You did promise me. Thank you for keeping your word.
Well, Sven Erik from Denmark. I think our Hi there. I think our social media is working really good with some
Okay.
wild live stream Facebook videos where we just show off what we are able to do, and that attracts both customers but also new employees.
And then what's not working?
We need more customers. We're still quite new, but there was also something else with the practice management system.
Tell me more about that. What's not working there?
Here you go.
You got voluntold.
Hi, I'm Ian Killian from Sussex, Heathfield Vets. We currently with RX Works, who I don't know if anyone else in the room is, but since they've been bought by Henry Schein, they've gone to the dogs. So we're in the process of looking at a new PMS system. So that's our practice management system's not working for us at the moment. The other thing that came up on the table was communication, which has been mentioned already, is also not always the best. And on the positive side, I think everyone said their team harmony and team spirit is good.
Okay. Okay, excellent. Let's give him a 2 clap. And let's give this people over here, what was your name again, sir? Yes. And the lady? Let's give them a 2 clap. All right. Guys, the reason why, just so you know, the reason why speakers asked you to engage, it's not to try to get you to do something. Just so you know, I have a psychology bachelor's degree, I have a master's degree in psychology, and I'm kind of a neuroscience geek for the last 10 or 15 years. It literally stimulates both sides of your brain, and it allows you to retain 80% more information than if you don't say yes, if you don't high-five your neighbor, if you don't write things down, if you don't use different color pens, if you don't have music on when you're brainstorming. It literally creates a different environment in your brain. I'm giving you the psychology of why we do this, so it's actually in your benefit. So you guys are doing really, really well so far. I just felt the need to share that with you. I think that would help even more. All right, so, and who wants to learn more? Do we all want to learn more? Yes, we do. All right, beautiful. Okay, so that's question one. Let's flip the page over and let's check this out. I want you to answer this question. What's the predictable future? What's the predictable future if you don't make a change? Put yourself in your shoes, maybe close your eyes for a second, and go out like 18 months. What's the predictable future? And then just pair up with just your neighbor, just one person right next to you, and talk through what's the predictable future if any of the challenges that you've already written down or any that you heard continue to happen. What's the predictable future? Go ahead and do that now for the next minute or so. Okay, guys, now start to log some of those things you're talking about. Just log a few of those things you're talking about. Again, you're going to have this to go away with tonight, and you can think more about this. Just want to start the brain moving because we don't have a lot of time. Who wants to share first? What's one of the predictable futures? Where's that box? Yeah, the catch box. That's what it's called. Who wants to share first? Right here. All right, perfect.
It'd be a different day, but the same old shit.
Different day, but the same. I just tell it like it is. All right, absolutely. And what is some of that same old stuff? Flip it back to him.
It's the same sort of reactive approach to dealing with stuff, the firefighting and failure to be proactive and foresee the problems and deal with them in advance of them turning up.
Keep that box. What happens then if that continues to fester?
Well, inevitably, it's going to lead to starvation and death.
We got a jokester, but you know where he's going with that, right? All right, cool. Let's give him a 2 clap. All right. One more. Who wants to go next? Maybe over here somewhere. Sven, you already held. Oh, right in the back. All the way in the back. Thank you so much. Libby, I guess you're going to get a workout today.
Thank you. I'm Susie from Ian McConnell Vet Practice.
Hi, Susie.
We won't be the best that we can be. We'll be less profitable, and my hubby will have a nervous breakdown.
Now, I know that's kind of a joke, and is there stress in this field?
Yes.
Is that a very real scenario? I know you're kidding around, but is that a very real scenario? Yeah, it absolutely is a very real possibility. Okay, you guys are doing great. Let's give her a 2 clap. You guys are smashing the 2 claps. Love it. Okay, now what is the impact? Let's say that predictable future happens. What's the actual impact of this future on you, on your clients, on the animals, on your team, on their families, on your family, on the world? Go ahead and take 30 seconds, and let's get some music and do that. Share with your partner as well on that one. All right, who wants to share something that either you heard at your table or that you had an idea? What's one of the impacts that you've heard? Come on now. Come on. Who wants to go? Volunteer someone. Oh, they're right in the back. That table's crushing it. And then we'll come back to Colin. What's your name and where are you from?
Alison again.
Oh, yes, that's Alison. I'm sorry, I can't really see you very well in the spotlight.
I'm from Sudan in Hampshire still.
All right.
Okay. So the impact would be that you will lose value both in yourself and your team, but equally you won't be giving the best to your clients and the animals if you don't forge forward and keep developing.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Let's give her a 2 clap.
Thank you.
And I'm going to give her a cool little playing cards because she just double dipped on the participation. Colin, yes, you're up next, my friend. I met Colin in the session this morning. Here you go. Thank you for your participation.
I'm Colin from the southeast in Kent, and we came up with the impact of the future on us was we would be unhappy and stressed, which we've touched on. The clients would also be unhappy and stressed, and the service to the animals would reduce. The impact on the world slightly different. We thought we were actually quite inefficient at helping the world, so the world might be a better place if we went way around.
Okay, let's give him a 2 clap. You guys are jokesters. I like it. I like it. Okay, so what we're going to do on this next one is we're going to do this by yourself, do this solo, and I want you to answer all 3 of these questions. So what inspired you initially to become a vet? Like, what was the thing that really lit you up, that inspired you to move in this way? I know not everyone in the room is a vet, but to move into this practice or this area of industry, what was it, right? So that question, and then what's the unique value that you bring to the world? What's the unique value you bring to the world? And then why independent? Like, why is it important to you to maintain independent? Why are you here, right? To get the support you need to maintain your independence. Go ahead and take just a couple minutes and do that on your own, and we'll get some music going for that as well. Everybody stay in the room. You're doing great. Okay, everybody bring it back up front. I know you guys love each other. You're meeting new people now. Bring it back up front, though. Everybody give me a 2 clap. Give me a 2 clap. That was a little sloppy, but we'll take it. We'll take it. We did a 4 there. Okay, who wants to share first? I'm really mostly interested in the first question, but I'm interested in all of them. We just, for sake of time, what inspired you to become a vet in the first place? Someone over here? Beautiful. What's your name?
Hi, I'm Della from Hoylake on the Wirral. I'm not actually a vet. I'm a veterinary practice owner.
Cool.
I became part of the practice really because I wanted to support my husband in making his business dream come true.
Nice.
My unique value, I think, is bringing an open mindset, ability to see the business as a non-vet, and able to know what our clients want from a slightly different perspective.
Nice.
Just broadens it out, and I think being independent gives us a lot more freedom to work the way we want to work and a way that helps our clients and their animals.
Nice. Everyone agree with that? Yes. Is your husband here?
He is.
High five. You got a good support system right there. Great job. Thank you. Let's give her a 2 clap. All right. One more. At least one more. Woo! Some excitement over there. All right.
Hello. I'm David from Italy.
David.
I'm a vet because I read James Herriot about 35 years ago. I like to help people.
Nice.
And what's the last question?
Why independent? What?
Because it's a challenge. It's a big challenge. I like challenges.
Yeah.
Makes you grow.
Excellent. Let's give him a 2 clap.
Thank you.
You guys are slaying the 2 clap. I love this. We have this on video too. All right. Okay. So you guys are doing great. I see a lot of you got a lot of notes on your pages. You're doing really awesome. And what we're going to do now is we're going to get a little bit uncomfortable, if that's okay. All right. No, I'm just kidding. It's not going to be uncomfortable at all. All you really need to do is sit there and think about, in a moment, I'm going to ask you to lower your eyes, right? And you're just going to think about where you are right now, what inspired you to become a vet in the first place, what you just wrote down. And you're going to just vision out into the future, which for you is actually this way, right? The future. And what is your desired vision? Now, if we were in California, I'd make you close your eyes, hold hands, and we'd sing Kumbaya. Luckily, we're not in San Diego, so we're not going to do that, okay? You're off the hook this time. But maybe next time, maybe on Saturday. No, we won't do that. So everybody get comfortable. Put both feet on the floor. Sit, firmly in your chair. We're not going to do this for very long. Don't worry. You're going to be totally well taken care of. And we're going to put on that crazy cool Enya music as well in a moment. And right now, I'm just going to ask you to just lower your eyes and just look forward. Nothing special to do here. Just get comfortable. Take a deep breath in and then out. And on your own accord, just breathe in, out a couple times deeply. There's science behind this as well that gets you centered. So just try it out, okay? And I ask you to begin to notice the sounds in the room. Notice the things you're seeing behind your eyelids. Notice how you feel. Notice the smells in the room. And everything looks good, smells good, sounds good, and you feel great. And you begin to remember, what was it that initially inspired you to become a vet or to move into the vet space? What was it that pulled on your heart to say, you know what, this is it? Or maybe it was your brain that said, this is it. Get yourself back in that space for just a brief moment. And notice how it feels. Notice what you see. Everything is in bright, vivid colors that you're looking at. Everything looks good, smells good, feels good. Everything sounds great, right? And now you're going to move into your present moment, right? You're going to move into your present, and then you're going to move right into the future. You're going to move out 18 months, 2 years into the future. And you're going to start to envision, what is it that you truly want in your practice? What is it that you want in your role? What do you want to be doing? What are the activities that you want to be doing in your role? What kind of team do you want to have around you? What kind of roles do you want them to have? What kind of actions do you want them to be taking? What kind of clients and how many clients do you want to be seeing on a weekly basis? What does your office look like? Put bright, vivid colors around it. Make it big, like it's a video right in front of your eyes. And start to feel what it's going to feel like when you're able to have that kind of business, that kind of practice. What does it feel like when you're able to make that kind of impact that you know you're here to make? And with that, I ask you to open your eyes and start to write down in question 6, what is your desired vision for your practice? Go ahead and do that now. Do that by yourself. Who would like to be really bold and share? I know this isn't the final vision. Maybe it is, maybe it's not. But who would like to share, just really briefly, what are some things that you saw or that you wrote down? Who wants to share first? I want to get like 1 or 2. Go ahead, sir. We're going to get you. We've got one over here. Do you have one over there too? Okay, we'll come right back to you, sir. Do you have one over there? Go ahead. Thanks, Libby.
Hi, I'm Patrick from Belfast.
Hey, Patrick.
And at the moment, I've written down the desired vision is continuous growth, both in scope and financially, but also in the practice culture.
Nice. Continuous growth, practice culture, financially, everything. Awesome. Great job. Let's give him a 2 clap. Okay, and then over here, we're making you run back and forth. Ready? All right. Name and where you're from. And feel free to stand up so we can hear you better. Yes.
Hi, Din. My name's Keith. I'm from Mayvets in Essex. I put sustainability kind of on 2 levels. So sustainability as an individual, in that we now have a team that we love and we want to make sure they're still wanting to be in the career in 5-10 years' time. So I think that's one of the biggest things that we face as a profession, is sort of dropout rates and things like that. And sustainability is the practice on an independent, basis that, we're all facing that pressure of staying independent, wanting to stay independent. So, and again, 5-10 years' time, we want to make sure we're still there as well.
Sustainability. All right, beautiful. Let's give him a 2 clap. Okay, now remember what it is that you wrote down, and take a moment and write down what's missing. Like, no kidding, what's missing, the presence of which, like if it was there, would make a massive difference. You know where you are, you know where you want to go. Now, what's missing? Go ahead and write that down. We'll just get like 30 seconds on this. Just write down a couple words, folks. Does everybody have at least one thing? Raise your hand if you have at least one thing. Okay, raise your hand if you don't have one thing. Okay, that didn't add up, but I think everybody has at least one thing. All right, take a moment and rapid fire all the way around your table, and you're going to notice there are things that people at your table are saying that are also missing for you. Just write them down if they also are true for you. So go ahead and literally take like just a minute, not even a minute probably. Just go right around. What's missing, what's missing, what's missing? Go. Go ahead. Thank you, sir. And somebody scribe, I forgot to say this, have a master scribe at your table. I want to hear all of them. Okay? Master scribe, I want to hear all of them. All right, bring it back up front. Our time is slipping away. Okay, this is a bold task. we're going to do this really fast, and it's on video, so I'm not going to be able to write them all down. We're going to go to as many tables as we can, and I want to have whoever the scribe was, or you can elect somebody else. Go ahead, let's go to this gentleman right here. Just what are all of them? Boom, 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 boom. And just keep the story out of it and just give me the bullets. Boom, 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 boom.
Right. Vision, clients, team autonomy, team harmony, management, recruitment, time.
Beautiful. 2 clap. All right, who wants to go next? Right here or right there. And then we've got a woman right here that wants to do it.
Right, we've got finance, time, security, financial security, team direction, physical space, and aggressive marketing.
Excellent. And Alan and the Vet Dynamics coaches, I'm sure you're listening intently right here as well. I know you know a lot of these, but you might get some more gems here from what folks are saying. Go ahead, ma'am. Or actually, right here.
Yeah. So we've got a shorter list. Lack of new premises or opportunities to expand, and leadership.
Got it. 2 clap.
We've got communication, time, processes, efficiency, control, leadership, staff, understanding.
Got it. 2 clap.
We've got leadership in the team, drive to build and a 5-year plan, family consensus and political certainty, mindset and desire to grow, resources, people, and admin.
Excellent. 2 clap. All right, maybe some from this side. And if you want to share, you can. All right, Sven, beautiful. Am I saying your name correctly? Sven? Yeah. Sven.
Is it still working?
Yes.
Okay, execution. So we have all these written plans, but we need to do some.
Got it.
Execution. Is it? No?
Keep going. What was so funny?
Okay. Execution. Oh, excuse my Danish.
I'm right there with you, buddy. I don't know what they're laughing at.
And training. Time for more training.
Time for training. Was there anything else on your table?
Written plans, but it has been mentioned.
Got it. Okay. So I heard a lot of time, team, leadership. I heard team and leadership the most. Would you guys agree with that? Those are 2 of the things I heard the most. Anyone? Euler? Yeah? Okay. I heard communication. I heard finance. There was a lot more, of course. But that any last person that really is like, I've got some very unique ones. Who else? Go ahead, right here. Thank you.
We've got key team members missing strong clinical lead, inter-team tolerance, team valuing themselves and others, and shared vision for everyone.
I heard that too a lot. I heard shared vision. So team, 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 and many variations of team right there. Lots of team situations. Okay, beautiful. Let's give her 2 clap. Thank you so much, Libby. Okay, so that is absolutely what's missing. And there is there's this common misconception that we want to be happy, for example, or we want to be a great leader, or we want to be a great manager. So we commonly ask, well, what do we need to have in order to be that? And then we commonly come back to the initial challenge that I heard, that I told you earlier, that I've heard thousands of people say, which is show me the tips and tricks. What do I need to do? What do I need to do in order to have the things in my life or in my practice in order to be happy? Right? What do I need to do in order to have, in order to be? Has anyone ever heard that before? I know you have from our previous conversation. It's Andy, right? Yeah. Yes. Cool guy. If you don't know Andy, make sure you get to know him. So it's not do, have, be, folks. It's be, do, have. Right? It's how do we be happy right now? How do we be a leader right now? Because just like I showed you with the circles, if you go back to page 1, let me hold this up real quick. If you go back to page 1, what did we say? How you feel in any given moment, the natural actions arise out of how you feel. Remember how we talked about that? Thank you, sir. The natural actions arise out of how you feel. How you're being in any given moment is going to produce natural actions. So, do you see the hack here? If you focus on who you're being, the natural actions are going to arise. And then the results are going to get produced. And that's what you have. Does everybody follow that? Say yes if you follow that. This isn't TV. I can see you. Okay, perfect. So it's be, do, have. So my question to you is, are you willing to give up who you've been for the possibility of who you could be? Are you willing to give up who you've been for the possibility of who you could be? Who you've been has dictated all your results you have right now. It's not having the right strategy. It's not having the right tools. It's not even having the right things to do, right? It's who you're being. It's kind of a combination of both, but you can't have the tools without the being. It just doesn't work. Right? It just doesn't work. So we're going to cap it off here with a video, and then we're going to create a powerful, say that with me, powerful, say that with me, powerful I am statement that we're going to walk